a belief-building win, I think, by the team. Midway through the third quarter, the old Fremantle would have shut up shop and probably gone home.
Well, there was a sense that the game was getting away from us, particularly on the back of the first quarter, where we probably should have scored a little bit more heavily than what we did. I think we kicked 3 goals 6 and maybe one on the full and one fell short. And then I thought we had a couple more opportunities. And when you're playing a great side like Geelong, if you don't take those shots early, it can take its toll. And, we did get 20-odd points down during that third quarter. But, we managed to go to the 3-quarter time huddle and we spoke about a few things. And the guys have been playing really well, particularly late in games, and they kept going.
They kept that pressure up, Harvs, that you were telling us about last week. I mean, just when you thought they were going to fall off the tree, that pressure in that forward 50 in particular came to the fore again, and that locked the ball in, and Pavlich did his magic from there.
Yeah, I think what's happening is that we don't necessarily have a lot of our guys that are having great games statistically, but what they are managing to do, if they don't have a good game, they do put a lot of pressure on, and that's very important in modern football.
Pav's leadership, outstanding.
It was, yeah. It was great to see. It wasn't not that they played on each other, but you saw Ablett and Pavlich at their best, and that's always a great spectacle from a supporter point of view. I think it was a great game to watch from what I've been told, and Pavlich was just sensational, and he really led from the front, and he brought it upon himself many times throughout the course of the game to rise and make sure the team was always either kept in front or he got us back into the game. Not that it was only him, but it was good to see him play that way.
Everybody was talking about who Geelong didn't have, but the one thing that they forgot too, that Chris Tarrant wasn't in your side, and I think that was a key element to be out of your team, Harvs, because young Silvani, they were virtually fighting out of their height weight, weren't they?
Well, he had to step up, and I said to him, I made mention to him, you're going to probably have to play him the number 1 or number 2 best forward for Geelong, and that's not going to be easy. And so we went through a few tapes with him on who he might play, and that was naturally Hawkins. And I thought he acquitted himself really well. And he's a rookie player, but he's 22 and he's had a lot of experience at VFL level. So I think he'd even played on Pozziali throughout the course of his VFL career. So he knows what he's doing down there.
How have you assessed your pressure and your intensity?
Yeah, that's been significant. A lot of that's got to do with your ability to be able to keep going and find second, third, fourth efforts. I guess you reflect upon your pre-season, and that's where it's all built upon. So we've had a really good pre-season, and guys are now moving into their second, third, fourth year. I still think yesterday we had, 8 first and second year players in our team, and it's just pleasing what we're doing at the moment. But once again, we've got St Kilda on the weekend, so it doesn't get any easier.
I've been critical of Desi Headland in recent times. He's had a few injuries. He looks like he's a bit fitter, Harvs, but I think you've got the key to him in playing close to the goal face.
Yeah, I think he's kicked 7 goals and probably had maybe 12 or 13 shots on goal so far, Brad. But once again, if Desi's not kicking goals, the intent and the purpose with him trying to maintain and keep pressure on the forward line is really important, and he sort of really gives a lot of direction to guys like Main and Ballantyne and those sort of guys down there. Also, Michael Johnson he has a good relationship with too. So Des is really important to the fabric of the forward line.
Broughton's impact, not only can he run and he's got pace and he uses the ball well, but his marking was a feature. Under pressure late in the game, he took a couple of real crucial marks.
He's one of those kids that you just love to coach. He's not about it. He just doesn't really understand how good he probably could be, and he's just dour. He gives his best effort whenever that is. Rarely gets beaten, and he's a guy that you can always rely on, and that's so important, particularly at his age and how young he is, and he's still evolving. He's sort of he played 20 odd games around about there, and so he's been a great acquisition to this football club.
It's not that we hope that Pav's going anywhere soon. I reckon we saw your new next captain there in action tomorrow, and he got injured in the end, Nick Subin.
Yeah, it's actually not as bad as first expected. It looked pretty ordinary when you have a look at the replay, and everyone probably thought that it was his knee, but it was actually his ankle. So we've just had the scans confirmed today. At this stage, he probably only looks like missing 1, maybe 2 weeks. So from that point of view, it's good that we don't lose a young player, as we did this time last year with, say, Reece.
But he's got leadership written all over him, I reckon.
Yeah, he has. It's interesting. May not always be statistically high up, but the importance and the direction at his age that he gives to his teammates. He always is in there having a go at the opposition at whatever stage he thinks it's important to. He's been terrific since he came over from Melbourne.
Harvs, you're out of contract at the end of the season. Did you have pressure applied at the start of this season? Did you know what the expectations were for you going into this season?
No, only just really the assessment of the progression and how the team was going to improve. That was all it was. There was no game stipulated. There was no nothing other than that, really. That's how straightforward it is. So, we're pleased in what we're doing. And to me, my contract's secondary. I'm just more happy with the way the team's going at the moment.
Now, Harvs, there's many and varied different homes of the coaching panel. They've come from all over Australia to coach Fremantle. Whose one is it to teach Ballantyne to pinch Gary Ablett on the backside?
Well, Brad, I'm not sure. You might be able to tell me, but is there actually any rule
against it?
You get reported for pinching?
Yeah, there is, Harvs.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah,
well,
you know what the rule is?
What's that?
First offence for pinching. That's what the rule is. $900 fine.
It's a bit bemusing, I must say, but look, Hayden's got plenty, so he's got a fork out $900 for pinching. So we're getting it. Oh well, I got to be careful what I say, obviously.
Yeah. Did you have a word to Bomber?
No, I missed him. I actually missed him. We've got to naturally we go and shake hands with the umpires before the game on the oval, but he must have got out there before me, so he sort of crossed paths and made a little bit of eye contact, and that was about all, Brad.
No, because look, they wouldn't like to think that they'd lose too many games being 14 points up at three-quarter time.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, the game, and it's just so, as I've stated, it's so demanding on the guys and your energy levels, and they had one less day's break than us, and it still matters a lot these days, and they're just spent after the game, these guys, and it's so important what you do during the week, and sometimes that can compromise your skill too, Brad, which is always, to get that balance is difficult.
Apparently it was a pinch to the nipple too, boys.
Well, that's a problem. We're going to have to talk to him about that.
A nipple cripple. Hey, Harvs, what about this week? Obviously another big challenge. Look, you're on the road. Etihad, you broke through there against the Bombers. St Kilda, look, minus Rewalt, we know that. But, geez, they've had a torrid weekend as well.
Yeah, they have. They've sort of had a few distractions on top of what was a really good win on the back of losing Rewalt sort of halfway through that second quarter. So, it'll be interesting to see the chemistry in their forward line and whether we can combat and break down their zone. They're probably the best defensive side in the competition, so we'll be looking at those sort of areas and hopefully we can expose them.
You couldn't have dreamt of a better start, though, could you? Let's face it.
Oh, well,
hey?
No, you can't, because you know how tough this competition is, and I just keep looking at the draw and who we're playing, and it doesn't get any easier. I mean, all sides now, it's a unique game because of the external pressure of media and how it gets the backs to the wall, how much pressure is put on clubs, coaches and players, and all of a sudden you just have this combatant battle every week.
Tarrant back this week?
Yeah, more than likely. Once again, we just have to find out whether he can get through a training session, but more than likely he'll be in the side, yeah.
Well, good on you, Harvs. Congratulations. Well done. Great start, and good luck against the Saints on Sunday afternoon.
Thanks, guys.
Mark Harvey there on Coaches Back to Back.